Yes, we're back, and it's a Celtic Unrestricted View. It's still -9 in Glasgow, but it's absolutely roasting in Australia, boys. Welcome back, Barry, Jason and JP. My name's Ryan Clifford. Well, lads, obviously no Celtic in the league, but it's the Sydney tour, and obviously we bit of fun as well tonight. Obviously, our early Celtic memory, which obviously will be all different age groups a wee bit here, so it'll be quite entertaining to hear our earliest memories. Some might be good, some might be bad, but that'll be interesting, lads. Obviously, Sydney Cup as well, so we get a wee bit of defeat. So, do we criticise? Do we know? Is it a friendly? What is it?
We criticise. I'm kidding on.
But I think overall, obviously, it's good to see Celtic back in their scenes. I know it was early in the morning. I think it's a bit weird not having Stella or Corona. It was porridge and black coffee in the morning watching Celtic. But JP, as I said, mate, obviously we spoke to Ben yesterday as well, so that was a good chat as well. But obviously, mate, the Sydney Cup started now after a long time. Waiting on it, it's finally here, and it did disappoint.
Well, first of all, good evening, and a bit of uncharted waters here. A fantastic fours on tonight. It's been a wee while for the 4 hours we're on together. I feel as if a boy band just get back together here.
Aye, but I've got no direction, but
no, you're in the right direction, mate. You're. Actually, do you know what? See this week, by the way, with how busy we've been, I actually fucking feel as if I've not moved away for a seat. I actually feel as if I've just had, in fact, I've just had pack lunch after pack lunch. Here.
I've no watched.
Have you done a wee Peppa Pig lunch box?
No, mate, no, I'm a grown up, mate. I don't do that kind of stuff.
No.
I'm above 6 foot, mate.
Did you actually think we done that, Jason?
I don't need to worry about that.
Where did you go with?
The big man 7, no, boys, that's how Gio's got it. Gio bought it off the big man. Buy one, get one free. Give one to Roy Mackay. No, but it's lovely to see all your smiling faces. Obviously, we're still smiling because, as Ryan said, it's -9. Sydney Cup, where do I start? Do I even start? I'm only kidding. Probably wasn't the best of fucking beginnings, and everybody getting up early in the morning to watch us, and like Ryan says, it's again we were on uncharted waters there watching Celtic at that time in the morning. Even the kick-off was before 9 in the morning, so it was a bit strange, but they were off a flat in spells of the game. I thought they were a bit lacklustre. Now, someday, I love Big Andy's reply when he was asked about the performance, and he was asked regarding, did he think the jet lag had anything to do with it? And his answer was quality. I mean, the way he is all the time. He says, "Nah, mate, I don't play violence." He says, "No, I don't think the jet lag had anything to do with it." And then, obviously, just no long after that game had finished, we seen a wee video that emerged on YouTube. Him getting angry, and I thought, I'm glad that reporter only asked him that one question, because you could see in Andy's demeanour he wasn't happy, and it just shows you, even although it was a kind of more light-hearted nature of what we're used to, Ange still wants that competitive edge about the squad, and he still wants that, that will to win, and I think we lacked that on Wednesday. Was it Wednesday? Aye, am I right?
Aye.
No, Thursday. Thursday morning. I think we lacked that yesterday morning. We lacked that wee bit of oomph about us. We missed a few chances as well. Thought we were a bit wasteful, especially when we broke Jota on that one. You could obviously see the difference in quality. First half he plays Turnbull beside Idaguchi and the big lad Abelgard. I actually thought we were very laboured, very slow. Tempo wasn't there. In that sort of fresh in the middle. Through the mid-sixes up into front thirds, I thought we were really slow. Thought our build-up play, which is probably why Kyogo looked ineffective again, because he needs to get in behind, and he needs to play at tempo because of the way the way he presses forward. Thought in spells Abada looked good as well. Again, pretty wasteful himself in front of goal. We didn't really get started in the first half the way I wanted us to. The second half was much better when he changed it. We were really dominant. We dominated a lot of the game, but again, boys, it was just down to poor finishing and all that let us down, and we get caught again. 2 goals we conceded were 2 sucker punches. A boy had a tap for a boy, was it Mac, that ran through and scored the first goal.
Yep.
And then the big boy Burgess. I mean, I don't think anybody can argue with that finish. That was a Tom Rogic finish over the back. So, no, but I don't know if it was a great start for us, put it that way. And I don't know what, it's hard to kind of say, what was expected because of the nature of the game. I don't know if it's just to showcase Celtic over in Australia. Seems to be that they're doing every fucking photo shoot they can. And obviously there's instead of Wales Wally this time, it seems to be Paul the Tim that keeps turning up in every one of the 40s. Every one of the 40s. I mean, he's turning up in a shopping mall, he's turning up in this, he's turning up outside cinema halls, he's turning up, and he was standing the other day with an Iceland bag. I mean, it's absolutely quality. But as I said, it's one of the ones. We're on to Everton now on Sunday, so we'll see what that brings.
I don't know what you think, Jason, but for me, I kind of what JP says about showcasing Celtic. For me, Jason, it's again you're still going to play games. The players obviously still want to win. I'm not saying I've turned off it. I'm just saying that I know JP looking sharp. He definitely moisturises his pistol. Brilliant. Fraser, I must admit, I like the fact you've listened to the podcast. Because do you know what Bristol is? The Bristol joke, I like that. That's interesting. JP, I think you need to respond to that, mate. You look sharp.
No, thanks very much, Fraser. It's not very often I actually get a comment like that, to be fair. No, I just
right, guys, you can keep that for when it's not a podcast. Come on.
I know.
Get a room. Fraser, you get a room with a big man.
It's not very often I get compliments like that, so thanks very much. I'll take that one.
No, but Jason, saying, no, I don't. I'm not saying I've turned off it because you still want to watch Celtic. I still want to see us win. But for me, it's a friendly, and I know it's Celtic. There's no friendlies, right? You still want to win. You still want to be competitive. But like JP says, you're not really going to criticise the performance because it is a tournament. It's a friendly tournament. You're not going to criticise too much because the manager will do that, obviously, and the dressing room. He still want to win every game, Jason. He still wants us to be at a higher level. But for me, I don't think he wants us to go there and kind of put on a bad show in front of his country, his fans, basically, in Australia. Similar to what JP says, Jason. I think it's a bit of showcasing our talent to the Australian public because they can only see us on TV, and you don't know, lads, watching it on TV is totally different to watching it at the game. You see it so much better and sharper and the quality on the park when you see it face to face. So, don't know what you feel, Jason, about the full Sydney Cup and obviously the game as well, but I agree with JP that it's probably the story of your season. I know it sounds daft, for 9 points clear. We've done okay in terms of performance-wise in Europe, but didn't make a grade in terms of points-wise. But it's been the story of the season. I know we've still won games by 3-4, etc. Beat 1-9-0, beat Rangers 4-0. But the amount of games that we've missed chances in, that's enough. I think it's 25 shots in goal and 1 goal. Again, Jason, that has been part of your season.
Mm-hmm. Good evening, lads. It's good to be on. With the 3 years, it's been a while. Obviously I didn't really see the game. I think I seen the last 10 minutes of the first half because I was working. But going with the stats and all that, I think we had a lot of the ball. But again, as you were saying, we weren't as clinical as maybe we were. I'm not going to say we were last year because we've still scored. I think we've still scored 19 more goals than anybody else than them across the water. But I do agree that we haven't been as clinical as what we probably should have been, especially in Europe. Mm-hmm. And I think that game the other day was probably just summed it up. Do you know what I mean? That I don't know if maybe they're lacking. I don't know if they're lacking a bit of confidence, but there's something maybe just isn't clicking as much as what it was last year. Are they try to be too cute with it? I don't know. They try to get the perfect goal all the time, and that's why. I don't know. But I think I'm not going to read too much into it because it is just a friendly. But I think what Angie said after it is that he wants the same sort of commitment and the same levels, even in a friendly. And I think that's brilliant. That even in a friendly, he wants to go over there and over to Australia and still wants to put on a show and still wants them to treat the game as if it's a competitive game. And I think that's exactly who the creative person I want running my club.
I think Barry, what Jason says, I think it's Andrew's obviously wanting us to be competitive every game and win every game because that's the mentality of the club. But like Jason says, Barry, I think that's the guy we've got at the helm. He's a born winner. I watched a bit of, I think it was yesterday or the other day, I watched a bit about him and it was on YouTube actually, and they were asking him questions about himself, and I think he's won like 18 trophies through his full career. As a manager, I think it's 18. Again, I don't know if that's as a manager and a player, but I think all in was like 18 trophies. So he's a born winner, Barry, and I think just with him being angry, obviously, I'm not saying he was livid, but he did look quite angry that they didn't perform. I don't know if it is because he wants us to showcase our full ability here in Australia, what we do here, because people can obviously see us back home where we are in Glasgow. We're looking good on the TV. I think he just wants that to transform and show everybody else that listen, we're not just a team for Glasgow. It's not just a wee friendly match. We're here to show you how good we are.
Yeah. Good evening, lads. It's good to be on. It's great to have the four of us as well. And looking forward to the show. I watched the game. Fortunately, I was able to see it. I think it's difficult to analyse the game because they're travelling across the other side of the world. And I know Ange said, he's not going to use that as an excuse. I don't think it's an excuse, but it's definitely a factor.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do that kind of travelling and then in a short period of time play a match and expect to be at your absolute best. So I think it was a big factor. The other thing as well is that the team that started that game, only two of them are recognised first team players. Carol Starfelt and Kyogo. Could make a case for Abada, but he sort of rotated.
Ralston maybe?
Well, Ralston isn't a first team player. I would say Juranovic is, but obviously with the talk of Juranovic possibly departing, then Tony Ralston might step up to that. But at the moment, I would say Juranovic is number one choice. So, and then in the second half, lots and lots of substitutes. Obviously disrupts the game. I thought we actually played pretty well. I thought we kept the ball well. Our passing was good. Our use of space was good. Just kind of same thing. We really didn't convert our chances. A bit wasteful in the final third. Bit wrong decision making. But I think we'll be much better on Sunday. I think the team will be much better. I think they'll be a lot more at it. I think they'll want to have that scalp to beat a Premier League team. I think the players and the manager will want that recognition, even though it is only a friendly stroke, Sydney Cup. So I expect us to be a lot better for that game. But it was visible in Angie's post-match comments that he was gutted. He was absolutely gutted. I don't think he could hide it. And that's fantastic to see that for your manager. Playing a match that really doesn't have a great deal of meaning in it in its own right, and he was raging. He was unhappy, and those standards that he set are really a luxury. I think we should all be looking at that and just enjoying the standards that this guy's setting. And then, as JP said as well, I think just about everybody has saw the footage of Ange when he was Australian manager, and I think it might be half time or he's doing his post-match analysis, and he's getting tore into them. He's getting tore right in, and he's not the type of guy going by that footage that you would want to let down. You wouldn't want to make basic mistakes, and I know he's all for people in the team making mistakes when they're trying to play the right way, but I think basic mistakes like, say, not picking up your man at a corner, letting somebody take a quick free kick, these kind of a foul throw in, these kind of basic things. I think that's when you would see that side of him. It doesn't tolerate these trivial, avoidable mistakes. And he's set the bar so high for these players, because I watched some of the interviews with the players afterwards as well. Ralston was one of them. And even they, you could see it in their body, even they were disappointed they lost that game. They were disappointed that they never played to the heights that they became accustomed to. I think it all comes down to, and this has been a big shift for me as a fan. It's never a perception I would have had. He focuses on the performance. He places all his attention on the performance rather than the result. That sort of comes later, and you can see it filtering into the players. They are now setting higher standards for their own performance and how the team performs. So I think it's becoming more and more apparent to me as a Celtic fan what an absolute specialist we've got running our club, and I'm just really grateful. And looking forward to the match on Sunday as well.
I agree, Barry, as well in terms of the Everton game. I think, again, I'm not saying they weren't trying against Sydney, because obviously they were, the way they played. But I think Sunday we treated like a proper competitive game because of who it's against. And I think, obviously, Everton, I don't know really much. I don't really know Everton fans. I don't know what they're saying about the game. But I'd imagine they probably expect to walk headers. That's the way I feel. They'll expect to come and just win. I know they're not really playing well, but they'll just see Celtic. That's just that's some of the English fans' nature to your game. I know Lampard won't treat that like that because he knows we've got some quality players. And I'm not saying that we could get Lampard sacked, but I'll tell you what, see if we do Everton, they'll not be happy with him. Even more so if we do them a tide over, in my opinion. I don't know what you feel, JP, about the game of Sunday, but if we do give Everton a bit of tanking, which I don't think we will. I think it will be a nip and tuck game. I think it might be a close game. I know it's a friendly, but I think it will be played like a competitive action game. I think it will be if we do beat Everton with a decent scoreline, if it is, or in terms of the way we play, I think that will even heap more pressure on them. People might think I'm way off the mark here, but the fact that already not doing well, and then if we go to Australia and don't do well at all, surely that makes even more pressure on Lampard.
Aye, well, in terms of what Barry was saying there, with the whole jet lag side of things as well, Ryan, I think, obviously, I agree with Barry in terms of they're going to be there an extra couple of days now. So they've been there, they'll have trained, they'll have done a bit. It looks like on social media and various different sources and photos and stuff you're seeing is he's also gave them a bit of downtime as well to go and see the surroundings of the place. They're getting photos with fans on the street, etc. Photos with fans at Bondi Beach, which I saw today. They're all there, Ralston, Starfelt, Greg Taylor, McGregor. And the fact that, and that's another thing, it's a big boost for us, the fact that he's now back running on the grass for the team. And I know he's not going to take part in these two games, but he is going to be ready when we resume back in December. So I think that's imperative for us moving forward. Because now it'll free up Matt O'Reilly to show what he can really do. And move Matt O'Reilly higher again and give that energy again with the three together. McGregor, Hatate and Matt O'Reilly. But getting back to what you were saying there, Ryan, in terms of Frank Lampard, obviously I think his days are numbered at Everton. I don't think it's gone too well. I don't really know, I don't really keep tabs on him every week. But from what I'm seeing and hearing in the tabloids, etc., and then I hear on Talk Sport now and again as well, I don't think he's having a good time yet. And I do think when you listen to Jason Cundy and stuff like that, when we were in the Champions League, etc., if we were to turn them out on Sunday, I don't think Jason Cundy will be then shouting from the rooftops about Celtic or this and Celtic or that when they've just went and beat a Premiership team. So, and Celtic have always had a past tense and a history of doing well against English sides, mate. If you look at all the times that we've met them in Europe even, and times that we've played friendlies with them, we've always had results against them. we've played Man U hundreds of times, and we've probably, I don't know what the actual scoreline is, but I would say in my time we've had the upper hand of them, because we seem to get a result against them near enough all the time. They beat us 3-2 in a narrow game down there, but we probably should have beat them. Big Vinegar of Hesselink, Nakamura scored with 2 goals that night. We probably should have won. That's no for Giggs diving for the penalty. Then we might have got a result. Then they came to Parkhead and we back Naka were at free kick. We turned them out that night. We beat them 4-3 in a testimonial match down there when Neil Lennon even scored. That was the night Beckham got slapped by Big Sutton, remember? So we've always really done well. I think we took 4 off Leeds when we went down with Martin O'Neill's side.
Aye, that's right.
Did we not play them down there and on Chick Charlie played or not? Was that not down England?
Aye,
Somebody's testimonial?
I think that was 3-1 we beat them that night. Simon Donnelly scored 2.
Aye.
Aye. That was Willie Faulkner and all that played in that game. But obviously we'll go on to that further down the line, because obviously we're going to talk about early memories and stuff. But the point of Lampard, right, is I do think he's under the cosh and he's under scrutiny, and I don't think that'll help his case at all if we were to turn them in, mate. Definitely not.
Yeah, we comment, guys, for the YouTube. Alexander, the papers are reporting Robin Hack from some team in Germany. Yeah, it's Arma Byfield, I think, might be splayed Celtic want to sign. We also heard about that this morning, mate, and then we seen it in the papers, so I don't know. Obviously, the papers are reporting it. I've not heard the guy.
He's 24-year-old, a German forward, mate.
Yeah, that's all we know. I don't know. Again, I don't know how far it's ahead, or I don't know how far it's ahead, or is it ahead?
We need another striker, just.
Aye,
100%, 100%.
They two need a horn.
I need a horn. I'm not saying they need competition because I've got competition between the two of them, but
no, they definitely need
somebody
for just the missed chances in the Champions League round. We need another striker.
Aye.
In my opinion.
In my opinion, I don't know what you feel. I don't think it's got to be a guy just to come in. I think it's got to be a top striker. For me, anyway, in my opinion, I think we've got to have.
It needs to be proven. I think they need to be a proven striker. They come in, especially if you want to make an impact in the Champions League.
We're not going to be able to listen, boys.
No, we can't spend 10 million. No, we can't spend. You can't spend loads of money, but if Ange does his due diligence,
you're talking about maybe somebody like a D. I'm not saying we're going to sign him, but like a De Jong at PSV, somebody like that. He wouldn't cost that much.
It's not just the
conversation.
He's away by the Celtic signing. He's away into his 30s.
But somebody like that would still come in to Celtic and still do a job, though.
It's not just the money, but it's the wages as well.
It's a sell on as well, Jess. You're not going to get a sell on a guy like that. So that's why Ange's marketing guys for 23 hours.
Ange isn't about that though, JP, because you look at Joe Hart. So he doesn't. Do you know what I mean?
Goalkeepers are different. Goalkeepers can play to their 40. McGregor's still playing. And he's in his 40s, mate. A goalie's a different position. See, forwards, Jess. Forwards are worth their weight in gold, mate, because they're the ones that scored goals. They're the gold team, in my opinion. Other players will come
just sign Ronaldo. We'll take Ronaldo.
Aye.
We'll take him for a year.
A packet of Haribo's.
Just as long as
he might be available soon, by the way.
We'll get him a packet. I'll go to Home Bargains. We'll get him a packet of classics. A packet of penguins.
Make him feel very welcome.
He'll be fine as long as nobody betrays him.
Obviously, you spoke about Barry. I'll go with Jason. Barry spoke about JJ Janovic. Obviously, the situation we've not really spoke about it since it's come out in the papers. Obviously, for me, I kind of agree with a few people that I've seen on Twitter myself. I think it's to do with. I think it'd be more to do with an agent league, to be honest with you, Jason. I think obviously maybe things behind the scenes, but maybe Celtic maybe what behind the scenes about them going to be in January, whatever. But I think, again, there's no news about Celtic, there's no news about Scottish football. Fuck it, let's get something leaked about Janovic or something today, because that's going to make the papers. Nothing else is out in the papers. They know it's just the World Cup. Like, let's put something out. Obviously, we all know he was, I don't want to say tapped up, but he was probably spoke to in the summer with his agent, etc. We all know he's probably, again, I might be wrong, unless the Croatia manager has a different opinion, Jason. He might probably start the 3 games. And for me, even if he starts 1 game, that's his stock risen again because he's playing the World Cup. The only reason I feel Celtic I want to add on his deal, Jason, is to either give him a bit more money to stay for another season to sweeten the deal, or to add another year to on to add more money. For me, some of the comments for our fan base, Jason, again, I don't talk for every fan, I talk for myself, but for what I see on social media and Facebook and everything else, some of the comments are wild, by the way. They're wild. They're absolutely stone cold wild. I can't. Oh, he's shit anyway. I prefer Ralston. I'm going to, by my opinion, right now, Juranovic is the best right back in Scotland, in my opinion. Again, people, I said on Twitter, I said, Jason, on his pomp. I think that his pomp, it might not be every game, but I've seen enough of Juranovic to say that he's got enough quality, in my opinion, to go. I'm not saying bigger than Celtic, but at his full capacity, I think he will get his suitors, and I think he will go elsewhere. He's always top class for Croatia. Every time I see him, I've seen enough of him. I believe that because of a lot of rumours in the summer, I think it did mess with Seed. I know he should be professional, and that shouldn't affect you. Maybe you should go the other way and play better. But I think it does distract you sometimes, Jason, and I think he has been distracted because I don't know if his agent in his ear, as it Ange, because I think JP spoke to John about it. Sometimes, Jason, when I think it was actually John, I think JP won it, somebody says to him, if you don't sign this, you're not going to be playing. That could be happening with Juranovic as well. We don't know behind the scenes. I'm just putting this as a scenario, Jason. I rate him very highly. For the value we got him for, he's been a phenomenal business, in my opinion, Jason. For me, I totally agree with Barry. For me, Ralph is no a first choice to play. If we want to go for, I know he's made mistakes in Europe, Juranovic, but if we want to be European football or European Celtic team in Champions League, in my opinion, can Ralston play every week in Europe for Celtic and take to the next level? No, I think we need better. Some fans are saying, Jason, we've got Ralston. So you're dropping Juranovic to Ralston and then expect us just to go and play the rest of the season with Ralston right back, maybe bring something in to help Ralston? No. My opinion, Jason, if you sell Juranovic, you've got to go and spend, just say it's 15 million, Jason, right? Off the top of my head, just say it's 15 million. You need to spend at least, in my opinion, 3 to 4 million to get the same quality of player. You can't just go and spend 500 grand, £1 million. Aye, it might be a gem, because we can trust Ange, we know we can find a gem. But sometimes you get what you pay for, and I feel if you want a quality right back, I think Ange might already have that, and he's burner, Jason. But I feel we need to replace the quality, because I believe he's quality, and I think that can Ralston come in and play to the quality every week, he'll give his desire, his fight, his hunger, he'll run for a bit off you. You can do that, but if you've not got the quality to add to it, then that only gets you so far, in my opinion. So, Ralston's improved. Can I see him improving much more, Jason? No, I don't think so. I don't know what you think about Juranovic, but I think some of the comments about him has been a bit OTT, and I think some fans need to remember how good it has been for us last year. Maybe not this year, but because of maybe the rumours, but I think some of the comments, Jason, are a wee bit over the top.
You've just had your wee Oxo moment there, mate.
Mate, it's annoyed me. It's annoyed me. It has annoyed me, some of the fans. Oh, Ralston's better.
No, I'm not meaning that. I'm talking about you're saying, can he improve? You've just had your wee Oxo moment there, mate.
No, listen. Greg Taylor is superb. Ralston has improved, but can I see him getting better than he has? I don't think so.
Could you see Greg Taylor getting better than when he was?
But he's went for where he is, and he's went boom. Ralston's went a
So
steady.
Ralston, but
I can't see it.
He has in a sense of what we were used to seeing.
Aye.
None of us thought that Ralston was going to be where he is. We all thought he was away.
He's going to be first out the door.
But I'm agreeing with Barry. I still don't think he's
in regards to
Juranovic. But I agree with Jason in terms of he went boom considering where he was before.
Mm-hmm. No, that's true.
I get what you're saying though, Ryan. Can he go boom boom? No, I don't think he can either.
I don't know. I think that he would, if he get a run of games, I don't know. You would. He's young enough to improve, isn't he?
24.
Mm-hmm. But in regards to Juranovic, I think he's absolutely brilliant. I rate him very, very highly. I think what people need to remember is though that he is 27. So he's at that point where if you're going to sell him, you need to sell him now if you want to make money on him. Because if you leave him another maybe 2 years, he's going to start declining. So I think I'm on the understanding that somebody is going to go in the January transfer window. That's what I think, and I think it will be Juranovic. But I do agree with Ryan. I think we need to get a decent replacement for him, because you can't have Ralston as your first choice. Who I think Ralston will become the first choice, probably until the end of the season, and then they'll get somebody in. But if Ralston to get injured,
I don't think we can leave it to. I think you've got to get somebody in.
The January, bearing in mind, Andrew's already said the January window.
You can't go and make
one week back. But what you're saying is if he's saying it's already been done, then does he already know that Juranovic is away then?
This has all probably been in the pipeline for a wee while, mate.
I actually thought
this has just come out of the blue.
I actually thought that he might have went in the summer there. And listen, he has been very good this year, but there has been some signs where I've been like that. He's no beat, especially in Europe. I think he get done a couple of times in Europe, which is fine. That's the Champions League, but domestically, he's brilliant, and I agree that he is the best right back in Scotland now. For me, I think his all-round game is phenomenal. I think he can defend as well as he can attack. He's quick, he's strong, and you know, if we got offered 18 million for him, you can't knock that back.
I think you'll be talking about that, Jason. I think because his deal as well is 2026, so like you said, he's 27, 28. He's probably thinking as well. I think that's what the JP about during the week, that he's obviously got a family as well. This might be his only big move. Maybe I don't know. I'm just thinking to his age. I think some fans.
Ryan, I think what people need to remember is as well is that he was playing in the fucking Polish league last year, 2 years ago. Do you know what I mean?
What is his journey? He played with Hajduk Split, didn't he?
Legia Warsaw.
And then he played with Legia Warsaw, so he's never played in the Champions League before, so that was his first time ever in the Champions League.
But then, see that, but that's fucking nuts to me, because he was an established Croatian right back playing with fucking Legia Warsaw.
But he'd only played in one Euro Championships with Croatia, and that was the last Euros when they beat us. So again,
I think he walks into majority of the teams in England. In my opinion,
I'd probably say I don't think top 4, but at least you're bottom 10, at least 100% in my opinion.
Well, I think the thing with Juranovic is it's personal ambition, isn't it? The guy wants to play at the highest level. We offer him a fantastic club with incredible tradition, a fan base that's almost unrivaled across the world, but we don't have the glamour of the Premier League or La Liga or the Italian League. And I think with players, it's like anybody in their profession, they want to test themselves and they want to get to the very, very top. So, of course, money's going to be a factor, his family, etc., etc. But I just get the feeling with Juranovic is actually doing his own ambition. He wants to go and play that. And you can't deprive somebody of that. I know he's only been at it as a short time, but he's gave a lot in that time. And he's been part of a rebuild as well. And it's been obvious to see for day one. I mean, the first time I sort of really seen him tested or supposed to be tested was against Ryan Kent. And he had him in his pocket. It was it wasn't a difficult matchup.
No, he did.
And I remember watching it. And this was somebody who you could tell he enjoyed Ryan Kent trying to take him on. You could see him thriving. He wanted Kent to try and go past him. He knew he had his number all day long. And I remember thinking from that point on, this is a guy who knows his ability. He knows how high a level he can play at. And that's obviously why, you know, if everything is true, which I think it is, that's obviously why. So if he does go, and even if it's in January, he will go, as long as we get the right fee for him, he'll go with my blessing. You know,
to back that up, Barry. sorry to interrupt, but I think we spoke about it as well. There was a game that he played last year, Juranovic. I think I might have been it, and he played in something like 4 different positions. He was left back, right back, CDM, and then centre mid. That's fucking unbelievable.
Aye, he's very
And he played them all. He played them all brilliantly.
Aye, and he's competent
For
at
me-
left back as well.
Aye, for me, it was when we first signed him.
That
We
was his
never had a
debut.
left back.
That's
And
right.
he played left back at a fucking canter.
Aye.
It was brilliant.
And he can play the inverted full-back role as well. So he's obviously tactically astute. I think he just oozes class. You can just tell he's a guy that can play at the highest level.
I don't know what you feel, Barry, right? Obviously, a lot of people were complaining about him rejecting a deal, right? You're JJ, right? You're 27. You've already got a contract to 2026. That's 4 years. That's a long time away. Why would you want to say a new deal 4 years to go? Why would you want to do that?
Especially when you've got a World Cup.
Aye, why would you?
You would.
I don't know what you feel, Barry, but for me,
Well,
anybody moaning about rejecting a new deal, use your common sense here. If you've got a 4 year deal at your work, and just I'd maybe imagine, Barry, again, I don't know his contract situation, but I'd imagine there'll be bonuses and more wages and tapping, maybe how many appearances, European football, if it's doubles, trebles, leagues, whatever, he might get away wage-wise in that time. Why would you want to add another year on into your 30s when you've already got a 4 year deal?
Well, I'd like to think that Celtic offered him that deal with the incentive of keeping him. So they were trying to give him a new deal, give him good money as an reward for his services up until now, and probably have skied him a package along the lines of you could be the first choice right back here for the next 6, 7, 8 years. You could go down in history with this club and the trophies you can win and so on and so on and so on. And obviously, that's not been what he wants. He wants to go and play at the highest level. He wants to go and test himself every single week at the highest level. And you've got to credit him for that. But in terms of the whole Ralston Juranovic, for me, it's black and white. Juranovic is first choice right back. Ralston is an able debutant. He's very good domestically. You get different attributes for Ralston that even Juranovic doesn't have. I love Ralston's tenacity. I love his grit and his determination. I love his story to where he's came from. I mean, just about every Celtic fan thought he was done. What a turnaround he's had. And he's only a young guy as well. Can he get better? Probably can get better with games. But can he go up another level? I'm not convinced about that. But what I would say is Celtic brought in Bernabe in the summer there. And most of us thought he would gradually nudge Taylor out. And Taylor would be, a worthwhile number 2. It's not happened that way. Taylor has went up and up and up. In fact, to the point where now, if Taylor was injured for a big game, I'd be gutted. That's how important it is. That's how important it is. Is it possible something similar could happen with Ralston? We need to go and sign a right back in January if Juranovic leaves.
Big time.
Yeah,
big time.
Right, but I keep an open mind that maybe signing somebody like that might push Ralston on and something similar happens to happen with Taylor. I'm not convinced it could, but there you go, it might.
But then why is Juranovic? You would ask a question as to why Juranovic no push Ralston on then if that's whenever Ralston's in.
Well, everything's about timing.
Juranovic was signed as number 1 anyway. So Juranovic was always going to play.
But he never started like that for him.
But maybe
Ralston actually played there and forced Juranovic to play left back.
But he was only playing at left back because
he injured his shoulder.
So he wouldn't have been playing at left back. He would have been playing at right back.
No, but what I'm saying is Juranovic was forced to play at left back because Ralston was doing so well. That's what I'm saying. And then Ralston got injured and Juranovic had to go to his natural. And after that, Ralston became the bit part player. So that's what you've got to remember. At the beginning of last season, Ralston was like, you're not getting my fucking jersey.
So that's right, boys. I'll ask all you the question. If Celtic were in a position where they had an offer for Juranovic or an offer for O'Reilly, I'm saying right now I'd much rather we sell Juranovic and keep on.
I would say so, Barry.
They're the main two, but as I said, that we're going to struggle to hold on to the next 2
I
Windies. I think these two are the top 2 that I think could go over the next 2 Windies. They're the biggest sort of. No, I don't want to say worry because our managers
But JP, I don't think O'Reilly's in much of a rush to leave. I think Juranovic is ready. I think he's wanting
That's
to
down to
go.
his
O'Reilly
age, then,
wants
innit?
to
That's
go.
down to obviously his age, Jace, as you said there. But he's 27, so I
What
think
age is
his
O'Reilly?
missus is
23 or
on.
something?
What's that?
What age is O'Reilly? 23 or something?
I think he's only 22, mate. I don't think he's that old.
Right, so that is...
No, I get what you're saying, because Matt O'Reilly did his interview when we drew with Shakhtar, remember, and his demeanour and everything, and he emphasised the word "we" quite a lot in that post-match, saying, we'll be back next year, we'll be looking to do better, we'll be looking to do this, that and the next thing. So, I get that for you, Jace, but they're the main two, the new, because I don't think Jota's gone anywhere. I don't think Carter Vickers has gone anywhere. They've just signed big contracts. Haskabanovic hasn't gone anywhere. He's just signed a big contract. Starfelt ain't gone nowhere.
I think Celtic is the best it's going to get for Starfelt, though.
What's that?
I think this is the best of the Starfelt we're playing with us. That'll be him. I don't think he'll go.
Maybe so. I mean, like, by the way, I'll tell you another one we'll be lucky to hold on to the next couple of Mondays. We had Tatty.
Mate, he's superb, man. He's superb.
He's
still raw. That's the only thing. He's a bit raw, so that'll keep up with us a wee while longer.
Yeah.
Talent-wise, outstanding.
Frightening. He loves that first-time pass, which is... And I just want somebody to... I mean, when Jota plays, Jota reads it and he's on it, but somebody else in the middle needs to... O'Reilly playing deeper, it doesn't really help Hattati. When O'Reilly's further forward, it helps him.
Yeah, I tell you another one, JP.
He plays the balls in the corner and the first time pass. Like, the goal was scored at the weekend against Ross County last week, The 1-2 with him and Haskabanovic. We need somebody else like that on his wavelength to play the wee intricate passes in and out of tight spaces when a team want to play a low block against you. But he's another man I would say we could be under threat of losing relatively soon. But as Barry says here, he is a bit raw, and that might be the only reason why we hold on to him a wee bit longer. I don't think Maeda's in a hurry. I don't think he'll go anywhere. I think he'll have to underhand.
Maybe I know. Abada, if he tied his game for a bit, could go.
Well, man, but there's talks of him and Big Giacomakis signing new deals, isn't there, as well? So
I can see that.
I do think a lot of them are happy, don't get me wrong. I mean, who wouldn't be playing under a manager like that? You know what I mean? But
I don't think Kyoto
to keep them all happy this season because he, you know, the way he's rotating that squad. And I think obviously that's something else we want to get used to as well, lads, is the fact that he's going to have to see for him to sustain us as a Champions League team, like over time, a Champions League team over time, sorry. That's the way he's going to have to do it domestically. That's what he's going to have to do.
Yeah.
That's going to be the model now.
Yeah.
That's what he's building.
Definitely.
So
to play the way he plays as well.
He's moaning about, oh, why the fuck's he making 6 changes? Or why is he making 5? That's what he's going to be doing. See, if you want to fire in all fronts, that's what you need, a big squad. You need a strong team to be able to do that. And that's how you've not really seen anything apart from the St Mirren game. When has it went wrong?
We were a bit sluggish, but
we've lost one game in 14 months in the league.
No, I know.
We've got pundits writing into the Daily Record, for goodness gracious me, saying one positive transfer one day and it brings it all back. What does he think? We're just going to stand still?
That's it. That's like when they said that's like when they said that one league title we would crumble. Remember that?
This is the same guy that says Gio had unsussed.
And still stood by it after they battered them 4-0 and said, he still got them sussed. He's never beaten them in 90 minutes.
We've done some amount of damage to them, man. They're totally unwell.
He's no beat us in 90 minutes. He's no beat us in 90 minutes, by the way.
No.
Apparently he's no beat us in the Xbox, you know. I don't know if that's true, right? I heard that today.
He's too busy. He's too busy playing with his wee Peppa Pig figurines. I'm
telling you, he couldn't beat his Paw Patrol drum, man. I'm no kidding on.
No, I do agree with you. I do think, Barry, what you say there, and obviously JP as well, I do think Juranovic, if we were to sell him, as long as it's for decent value in terms of the market, then because like you're saying about new deals, etc. Don't know what you feel as, but for me, I think this is one of the strongest financial positions we could ever be in. That's what I'm saying.
100%.
Under the manager, under the guys we've got in the terms of quality and on longevity deals, you've got to think if you win the league this year, again, I'm not thinking far ahead, but what other team is going to catch us? If we do the right thing on the park, do the right thing recruitment-wise, do the right thing in terms of selling players and buying players in recruitment-wise, if you do that properly, teams shouldn't get near us in Scotland. Again, I'm not thinking too far ahead. I'm just thinking if you do your recruitment properly, if we win the league this year, which I'm hoping and I think we will, you've got more money for the Champions League. You've got all these guys in long-term deals. They play again, obviously, after the World Cup. Their stock will rise, some of them. You play in Europe again next year, your stock's going to rise even more. They'll get more international exposure. Guys like Jota might get a call up for Portugal. Michael Nicholson must be like that. There must be, because that's 2 and 3, 4 years down the line.
Do you think the club's been modernised a wee bit since the season we won't talk about?
You know me, Jason.
Do you not think they kind of took on board what the fans were saying?
What did you say that for, man? You're going to start a math again.
No, I like to mention it because I like how well we've done, how well the board have done we've said it before, plenty of times. They've backed the board. The board have backed Ange a bit blind in last year. Kyogo, the board don't know who Kyogo is. The board don't know who Maeda is. Hatate. They're going on his judgment and his word. Listen, I've played them. I know how they are. Pay the £4.5 million for Kyogo, whatever it is, and get him in because he'll score goals.
£4.5 million for Kyogo. My God.
That's what I'm saying. The value for players. We've spoken about it plenty of times. And again, some fans, because of that season, Jason, they'll always have a wee thing against Lawwell and the board. They always will. That's their opinion. That's just what we've all still got that against it. But you've got to look at it now, right? The board have slightly they've modernised the way we're working. We're working, in my opinion, JP lads as well, Jason, Barry, the way an elite club should be run. Our finances are very great. You look at our team on the other side of the water. The reports are trying to make them a £5 million profit, and then when you look at the article, it's £0.9 of loss, and that's in Europe. So, and that's not including the £6 million might actually deal. So, Barry, how much of they in shit if we actually imagine we won that season, Barry? Imagine we won that, and then last year you're talking another fucking bye-bye, man. Cheerio, because they're still struggling, Barry, and that's in Europe. So if we win the league this year again, which I'm hoping and I think we will, they're going to have to qualify again, and I think they're going to have a massive, unbelievable rebuild because nobody wants to stay. They're all out of contracts.
12 first-team players out of contract. That's fucking unbelievable.
So for me, Barry,
that's just Manelos himself.
It's the way the club is run, Barry.
He's too busy drinking pina coladas, man, aren't they?
For me, mate, it's exciting, and I think the fans, I'm not saying forget about it, but I'm just saying look forward now. Let the board do their job because some of the guys who were on the board and made the silly decisions aren't there. So you've got to give Nicholson a bit of credit and say, right, you're working with Ange, you're doing brilliant, carry on and just hopefully take us forward even more.
Yeah. And see, to be fair, what is the cost for them? And I know we've all decided, the podcast should be about Celtic and talk about what we love, but you can't help but mention your so-called rivals at times.
Mm-hmm.
And what have they paid? What is the cost that they've paid for throwing the kitchen sink at trying to win a trophy? And ultimately, they got one trophy. We can all go through how they got it, but let's just leave it. They got the one trophy. But what is the price they've had to pay for that? Because what I'm hearing from people is that the money that they've brought in is going straight back out because they've got all sorts of loans and debts that people are now saying, you've got the Batty money. You've got the Champions League money. You've got the Europa League money. Right, well, it's time for us to be paid back.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the fans are in for a rude awakening. I really, really do, because the money that they think is available to invest in the squad isn't there. It just isn't there. At some point, you need to pay the piper, and that's where they're at. And obviously, that's good news for us because
All the
it
face
means
painter.
that that's what it is, mate, isn't it? But
I knew you were going to say something like that. Knew it.
and Jason's right. I know. I mean, they've got a lot of aging players, guys who just can't come back for another season. They've got guys with a contract. They've got guys that haven't wanted to be there for about 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
And then they've also got players on their books who are on loan, one or two of them. They'll probably go back to their parent clubs. And then they've got others that just aren't good enough. So, I mean,
Right.
they're probably going to find themselves in a similar position that we did when Ange came into the club. And who was to know it then? But looking at it now in hindsight, we got a guy who, up until now, has proven to be a master in the market. And we're not just talking about he went back to the Japanese league because he knew it. He signed Matt O'Reilly for MK Dons. And by the way, he signed him off the back of trying to get another boy, Riley McCree, who sort of it didn't work out, but he already had Matt O'Reilly lined up. We've got a guy who's always one step ahead, or so it seems so far. And I think, talking about the board there, Ryan, they've not done a lot, Ryan. That one season was bloody painful. It was absolute torture. But look at how we bounced back. And even that, there was adversity in that because we tried to get we tried to get Eddie Howe. And it must have been a big disappointment because they courted him for a right wee while, I think, even over a month. They were sort of hoping that this would go through. It never worked, but they had a plan B. They went for it, dragged on too long, big man, aye. But we ended up with Ange, and none of us have got any regret about that. We got the man who we were meant to get. So, you can criticise the board, but if you're going to criticise them, you also need to applaud them for appointing Brendan Rodgers back when they did, for appointing Ange Postecoglou. Even Neil Lennon, to an extent, came in at a time when it could have went either way. Brendan Rodgers leaving at the time that he did. And Neil Lennon steadied the ship. And the season after that, the full season that Neil Lennon done a treble in his own right, we played some fantastic football that year. We ended up with the 5-3-2 system and a lot of good football, a lot of high-scoring games, and it was a joy to watch. Some of it with Edward and Griffiths up top, if you mind.
So that's your home and away.
Aye, we're being spoiled, really, as Celtic fans. And I just hope that the board continue to give Ange Postecoglou the reins and they continue to give him whatever resources he wants, including players, anybody else he wants to bring into the back room, any other changes he wants to make around the facilities and whatnot. Because, again, going back to that cut that we've seen him on YouTube, you've got a guy here who commands respect. You've got a guy who just knows exactly what he's doing. And up until now, the proof is in the pudding because not just the fact that we're winning and winning trophies, it's the way we're doing it. This style of football, it's easy to take it for granted, but even in patches in that game with the Sydney Cup, there was patches in that, I was watching it going, goodness, there really is a brand that this team play. We've got a brand of football, and I'm proud to be a part of it, proud to watch it.
Aye, we've got an identity and somebody else, hasn't he? But JP, last part of the show, mate. Obviously, we're all big Celtic fans, different ages. I'm 29, you're a bit older than me. I'm a baby, but I'm still a gaffer, so it's all right, you know what I mean? But in terms of your early Celtic memory, JP, I know you've probably seen some howlers of a player, some fantastic players, but what would you say, since you came out your mammy's tummy, mate, what was your earliest memory as a Celtic fan?
My earliest memory as a Celtic fan was probably, I reckon, when I really started taking notice of football, was probably Paul McStay. I seen the kind of mid to tail end of Paul McStay, and in my opinion, it doesn't get any better than that, I'm afraid.
The maestro.
I mean, I remember seeing guys like Chris Morris, Anton Logan, Paul Elliott, seen Stevie Fulton. I've seen a lot of guys play for Celtic for the years. But Paul McStay sticks out in my memory for different reasons now as well, because obviously that penalty miss at a big course. against Rafe Rovers. It cost us in the cup. Against who was that? Was it Jimmy Nichol? Was he Rafe Rovers manager then, wasn't it?
That rings a bell,
Was
aye.
it Jimmy
I think
Nichol?
Gordon DL played with him, man.
Gordon
In fact,
DL scored. He
Gordon
scored.
DL was part of
Made it
that.
2 each.
Part of that. Aye, that's right. No, I remember that very, very, very well. And that was probably when it all started for me in terms of, but I mean, don't get me wrong, growing up as a young boy, and like when I got to like 3, 4, 5, I remember my dad telling me about the Lisbon Lions, and I feel as if see the stories I've heard about you guys, I feel as if I've actually seen them live. It just feels like that. I know that might sound mental, right? But just the stories my dad's told me, the games he went to. He was only 9. He was at Parkhead when they brought back the big cup. I felt as if I was there with him, the way he was telling me the story, just the way my dad put it to me. It just felt like I was there with him. But you're right, Ryan, I've seen some howlers, I know, mate. I remember guys like Wayne Biggins and Carol Muggleton and fucking Ian Andrews and Jesus, Johnny, man. These guys couldn't get a game of fucking Kirby Wiggy, let alone a game of football, man. You know what I mean? They threw a lot of football matches. I just don't know if they were capable of throwing a ball off a curb. But these guys were terrible, man. Dreadful. I watched Celtic when Celtic were shite. I watched Celtic when Celtic were... Barry's a say, he's similar ages with me, so he'll know what I'm talking about. I remember the young mob. I remember all that. I remember Lou McCarry, Liam Brady. I remember nearly going to the war. I remember the Bunnet saving us. I remember where I was that night watching Scotland Today.
Yeah.
On the telly. We were all shaking myself because she coming on the telly. We thought Celtic, but the shutters were coming down and that was it. We didn't know this was happening. When Brian Dempsey was outside Celtic Park announcing, we thought he was announcing closure. And he never announced that obviously Celtic had been took care of in the 11th hour. So I seen all that. I saw all that. I seen the Bunnet saving us. I saw the old Celtic Park. I was there. I was in the old jungle.
Mm-hmm.
I seen all that. I grew up with all that, and then I obviously you get to I've seen the new stadium being built. I was at the first game of the new stadium being open when we played Sport in Lisbon. In fact, George Cadet was playing with me. George Cadet was playing with us at the time, and I think that was part of the deal. And it just so happened that Toby Dunn with the Sport in Lisbon sort of come to plays when we opened up part of the stadium, the new stands. But when we stopped 10 in a row, was a brilliant memory for us as well, because the Joke Steen stand as it is now, that wasn't there. That was just a big building site at the back of that.
Yeah, I remember that.
But I've had a lot of great memories, a lot of shitty memories, I know, but I've had more good memories than I've had bad memories. And growing up by watching Celtic. What about yourself, Jace? What about you, mate? What was your earliest memory of the
My earliest memory, the first player that I ever remember and I was like, wow, was Simon Donnelly. I remember my first game was with my old man, and I had I think it was the first Celtic ship I remember was with the Umbro sponsor on it. See, it was just Umbro. I dare say I'm 31.
Great age.
So I dare say I had a CR Smith top, but I always remember I used to run about all my dad's old football tap, all his old Celtic taps. And my dad would always tell me the stories, about this place called Paradise, and I was like, that, what is it? And I remember my first game with Celtic Dunfermline, and I think I was about 5 or 6, and I remember walking in, and I was just like, wow, man. Then I remember us beating I've been quite privileged that the only really bad spell that I remember us going through was fucking John Barnes, man, that I can actually remember.
If that's the only bad spell you remember, and you've been fucking really
lucky
treated
boy.
well by the way, because I remember when we had the canio and all that, and some of the cheating that was going on right in front of you, man. And Sky Sports will be back in only one channel.
Mm-hmm.
So it was only just Sky Sports. That was it. It wasn't like Sky Sports 1, 2, 3, 4. But if that's your fucking only bad memory, John Barnes, you're really privileged, mate.
Aye, that's the only, because I can't really turn around and say that no one in the 10 was bad, but I had 9 fucking marvellous seasons before that. So, do you know what I mean? So, for me, the only really, in my time, I don't know. I remember getting beaten. I remember watching Seville. We lost the cup for the UEFA Cup final. That was the sort of first time I felt that was sore. I remember watching it with my cousins and my uncle and all that. And there was a pub across the road, and you seen the guys sort of coming out the pub, and they were fucking devastated. I remember that, but it's a bit like yourselves, IP. The goods definitely outweighed the bad. Like I remember beating Juventus 4-3. Barcelona, do you know what I mean? We've had all day that beat some cracking games. I remember, wasn't that long ago, when Dembele, scored the hat-trick against them. That was the season they were going to come up, and that was when they were ordering about with fucking word buttons in their heads, remember? Saying it was a magic hat and all that, remember?
Aye, because they used a loaf before that, shouldn't they?
I know.
That get put to bed, that one, didn't it? But I just, ever since my dad spoke about Celtic and that first time at Celtic Park, I've just, Celtic, you don't choose it, you're born into it. You know what I mean by that? Like, it's in your blood for me, and it's just, it's my club, and ever since that first day, I've just fell in love with it, and it's been the only thing that's that touch, hopefully, goes into my life that just gave me really much constant happiness. Do you know what I mean? And I've seen my team winning so many trophies, and I've been there at Hampden to see a good few of them, and I've been fortunate and been lucky and been blessed that I've seen a lot of right good games, and I've seen a lot of good players coming to play Celtic, and I've had the privilege of seeing Henrik Larsson playing live in front of my eyes. Do you know what I mean? I can remember seeing, in my opinion, the best ever goal against Rangers when he lobbed Stefan Klos. That will never be beaten for me. I remember the feeling. Aye, and it's just what a club. Do you know what I mean? And it even comes down to that Christmas advert they brought out this year, man. What a fucking club we've got, by the way, because that was brilliant.
Yep.
I think, with the Celtic Foundation and all that, and everything about Celtic for me is what I'm about in my life. Do you know what I mean? About what I help people and stuff like that. So just the club fits me, and I fit it. And my earliest memory was my earliest memory going with my dad and walking up through the stairs and just being like, wow. And I still sometimes get that, and I can't wait to take my daughter there to see her face. Cause I took my nephew, and you will probably get it when you to take your boys, and just to see them be like, wow, man, it's beautiful, that's amazing. But that for me, that's Celtic in a nutshell for me.
Yeah. And yourself, Barry, aye.
Jason, you nearly brought a tear to my eye there. Jeez, oh. My God, we should get you on a stage or something, man.
I know, man. I nearly put out the Kleenex here.
Well, I could go, Ryan, I know, very touching. I could go right down the line with IP. The big man just talking about a load of stuff there that was, the memories were coming back to me. But truth be told, I've got 2 boys who don't know what it's like to see Celtic losing, really. Other than that one season, my boys have been absolutely spoiled. All they've ever known, especially in the derbies, is Celtic, scoring goals, winning comfortably. But that wasn't what my childhood was like. It was absolutely torture. God rest him, Tommy Burns. Man, that man, he threw everything into it. He put his heart and his soul into it. Left no stone unturned. Really, the guy really done everything in his human powers to to get that league, and God rest him, he just couldn't do it. He just couldn't grab it. His football was stunning.
Andy Gordon broke his heart. He said that.
No, that's what I was coming on to there. That's my memories. That's my childhood memories. Absolutely. God rest him and all. He's away and all. Andy Gordon, I don't mean any harm to him and his family, but I hated him as a wee boy because I'd watch games. JP will remember it. We'd watch these games. We would be a better team. We'd create the chances. We would look better. We would have the flashy players, but we'd do everything but score. And that guy would make save after save after save, and your heat would be in your hands. How did he save that? That became the norm, didn't it?
Remember his point blank save against Big Pierre?
Big Pierre Van Hooydonk, even Pierre Van Hooydonk looked as if he saw a ghost. Right? And so that's my memories, my kind of earliest memories. But my more happier memories was just the absolute joy you got from watching somebody like Paolo Di Canio and his flashy boots. And you'd be watching that as a wee boy going, you were desperate to get the boots. Mm-hmm. And Pierre Van Hooydonk and George Cadetti and just that's why I love the style that we play now, because it brings all that back. You know, that's what our club was like. It was
and you mind his boots, Baz?
Aye, it was Joma, wasn't it?
No, his boots were Pantofolo Adoro.
I had a pair of them.
The green
and
bright yellow ones.
Green and white label, but then remember he wore the gold ones against Aberdeen?
So he did. Aye, so he did.
Pantofolo Adoro they were called.
Aye, and just his personality, the Canio's personality.
Oh, brilliant.
Fucking screwball,
the one that sticks out with me, Baz, I don't know if you'll remember this, mate, was with Ian Ferguson, didn't he?
Aye. Cool, man. Aye.
He was going to kill him, man. He was going to spit at him.
Aye, he was gunning for him.
But the Canio spat at Ian Ferguson?
Well, my uncle worked at Celtic Park at that time in the days. And Ian Ferguson spat at him in an altercation on the pitch. Just, he spat down at his feet. And again, he gave him his own scare. The cup game. I think they beat us. Did they not bring Big Mark Catley back or something that game?
Brought him back only for about 3 months.
That's only for that sort of spell.
Aye, about 2 games or something they played him. Aye.
They made a difference. I vivid memory Big Stuart Kerr grabbing him in the throat.
Aye, sorry that.
And it was all off the back of
that. Number 2 goal.
But the Canio get sent off for his reaction, obviously. But he was going to fucking kill him. And he told him. And my uncle actually told us the story of the Canio had to be kept in the stadium to 7:30 at night till he calmed down. He was going to kill him. They had to get Ian Ferguson ushered out the door and his Rangers strip into a taxi and get to fuck. Yeah. He was going to murder him, Jess. He was going to kill me. I don't know what that means in Italian, but see if you spit at somebody, mate, it just sent him there. Like, go and look at it if you can get it on YouTube, Jess. Go and
you spit at somebody in general, you should deserve fucking that.
But he just spat on him and he thought, look, as Baz says there, he was going to murder him, mate. That was live on the telly, that was on Sky. Sorry, Baz. Back to me there, just as you mentioned, the Canio's incident there.
I never had a ticket for one of the derbies, and it was a guy my dad knew, was a steward at Celtic Park, and he sneaked me in for I think it was Dr. Joe Vengos's first derby.
By the way, listen, anybody who's listening, I don't deal with people sneak people in. Don't deal with that.
No, I don't condone that. I don't condone that.
I just deal dodgy boxes.
Pay your money so we can get better players.
What a guy was, by the way.
I get into that game and see when the first goal went in. Oh, I kid you not. A big, huge, bald guy, must have been about 20 stone, landed right on top of me. So the goal was amazing, but I suffered for it. That was my karma for sneaking in.
Was that Lubo's first Old Firm?
Aye, that's right.
Yeah.
Aye.
Lubo
did. I just remember that game and the Youth Do song came on.
Wee Burchell got the 5th goal, didn't he?
Aye, he scored the 5th goal, aye.
That's when they done that or something, didn't they? Like that.
But that's what I'm saying, Jay. We've Laurie, what Barry's talking about there, I remember all that as well. And you know, wow, man, Aye,
See, my dad said, because one night we were sitting, I was like, that, what was the worst for you?
Van Bronckhorst, by the way, we
And you said
actually
it
scored in
was.
that game.
Sorry,
He said
that
the worst for him. He said the worst for him was Liam Brady, the Liam Brady years. Said he just fucking signed anybody, him.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's not always been plain sailor, eh? But we're in a great position now, I'll tell you that.
So I've been lucky, to be fair. I'm 29 now, but for just about myself, like, obviously when I was younger, you don't really know until probably say 7 or 8. That's when you start really recognise it. Probably Seville's.
He doesn't know about hard things, Baz.
No, I don't know. I don't. That's what I'm saying. I think some Celtic fans, even nowadays, like Barry says, we're spoiled when we get beat or when you lose a game. That's not good enough. But you've got to realise you don't lose many games at Celtic, especially in Scotland. Recent times, for 20 odd years, we've been dominant in Scotland. Here, like you have said, here and there, Barry, we've lost one here and there. You boys have seen success. I've just about seen success. I grew up watching a News team. That was my era, basically. Sutton, Larson, Thompson, Hartson, Petrov, Lampard. So I seen Celtic. I don't want to say Celtic at their full pomp, but I seen Celtic when they were spending a bit of money, when the money was back into Scottish football, and I seen guys for the other side as well. Your maybe small bits of gas going in that bit, but in terms of maybe facial, it was like your De Boers, up front, your Michael Moses, and obviously I know he got a bad injury. I know he's a really top player, but I seen Scottish football when the two were hammer and tongs. The two of them were spending money, and obviously we get up your hand, and I do believe that. I think we lost the league with 1 point in goal difference, so we could have been so much successful than we did, even how successful we've been. My earliest memory probably was Seville, if I can remember, because I can remember scoring when I scored the 2 goals. When we scored the 2 goals, I can remember running out the street, getting half my nut. I think I was like 8 or 9 year old. I can still remember it to this day. Just when the corner for here, Maltush won brilliant, and I was devastated, but. Like you says, that era.
You had to move, you get your man down Asbo.
That's it, mate. I was about 8, 9 year old when I bit my wee tiny Calvin Kleins, you know what I mean? When I say Calvin Kleins, it was probably Lonsdale. Ask my dad, he'll tell you, probably Lonsdale.
You have your Hounslow vest on?
Aye.
The fucking Donny show.
It was Everlast my
Here comes
Donny
Ryan C. Nesbitt.
But I'd probably say my best memories have probably been. It's very hard because I've seen guys like Hooper, Ledley. You've seen all the guys that are playing with you. O'Neill's team was phenomenal. The guys, you'll never forget that team. That goal with Larson, you'll never forget that. That's so iconic. The belly hat as well. But for me, again, as a whole, it's probably the highlight for recent times in game. What I always go back to is probably Tom Rogic's goal at Hampden. That'll never, nothing apart, obviously Larson goal, but I'm talking about being at the game, seeing the emotion. Probably the Rogic goal. I don't think nothing will beat that. That was
that solo goal, wasn't it?
That was phenomenal, Baz. That was unbelievable.
That went total move went in slow motion when I was watching that, by the way.
The fact that we
won at that game, man,
an unbeaten treble, which by the way still does not get spoken about enough. Celtic
never be spoke about what we done.
Celtic have won four trebles, lads, and you wouldn't think it. You wouldn't think it.
No.
You generally, and this is no us talking about a turn, by the way. You would not think Celtic won 4 trebles. I know Rodgers gets a lot of flack, right? But for what he done in terms of unbeaten treble, I know it might have not been the best of Rangers or the best of Aberdeen, the best of Hibs, whatever you want to call it.
You can only beat us in front of you, mate.
You can only beat me in front of you. I know.
Right, see with that Aberdeen team, but that Aberdeen team was finishing second on a regular basis at that point, so that's one of the better Aberdeen sides we've
I believe, under Ronnie Dyler, I believe if the board really wanted Celtic, if the board really, let's be fair, Jason, Aberdeen were never going to beat Celtic. Let's be honest, it was never going to happen. No. Aberdeen were never going to beat Celtic because if Celtic wanted to step up, I think they would have. I think that season, or the year or two, was 3 years, sorry. The team knew the league was finished at the start of the season. It was just playing through emotions, winning games, and it wasn't fair on us fans. And because I believe the board, I don't want to blame the board in the sense of the best thing that happened was Dyer getting sacked because Rodgers came in and the board knew, fuck here, Barry, we need to step up here because they knew that things were letting slip. It was just win the league, fuck Europe.
Was Deal you sacked?
No, but I think
mutual consent. I think he walked before he was put. He was put before he was
right.
Because
when we lost the game in the semi-final.
But before
he should never have fucking beat us at that. By the way, they should never have beat us.
It's what happened after that was more funnier.
But before I heard murmurs that after the semi-final, Desmond went, no, fuck this, we need to get Rodgers. That's what I've all heard. Desmond went, I'm having this, all the Rangers crowd, we're coming to get you, we're back, and he went, is that fucking right? And you get your fucking man Rodgers, and look what happened. And we all know.
Personally went from, didn't he?
And we all know that Rangers shouldn't be where they are. They shouldn't have got back, but the board let them get back, in my opinion. But you need to praise the board for what they're doing now, Barry. And
make more comebacks in Frank Sinatra.
Fucking more comebacks in me, my life, man. Fuck.
If it more comebacks in fucking Westlife, man.
You love Westlife.
But overall,
but that's not the point.
That's how he's getting a love fat boxers on.
I would say my earliest memory was obviously probably Seville. My greatest highlight in the news probably been obviously the league last year was amazing and getting back to Champions League this year. But I would say for me to be Rogic, I think that never. I love Rogic, and it's always hard not to put him in my best Celtic teams because just that moment. I just think. Again, with some Celtic fans, I think he's undervalued. I think with some people in Scotland, he's undervalued for what he's done. I know he's wet to West Brom. Again, I don't know why he's wet to West Brom. Is it because he knows he's maybe doing the whole of his injuries? We don't know. I think Rogic was a fantastic talent. But overall, lads, anything else before we end the show tonight?
Was that us?
Just a great show, boys.
And you want the show, aye?
Wow.
-9 up here, so I need to put my hat on.
Listen, just one thing I would say as well. Do you think they're going to stick with him? I know it's been.
Aye.
You think they're going to stick with him?
I think he's going to get a bit of leeway. I think he's going to get a bit of leeway because of these injuries. But yeah, we had a rebuild and injuries, and we get slaughtered for it.
How can they not see that? The performances are just going like that, and so are results. I mean, I hope they do stick with him.
If you think about it, he's doing everything that they want him to do. He's a pure yes man. He's working with the budget.
Aye, well,
he's signing the players that they want him to sign.
And he's not wait too much longer.
Listen, I'm telling you right now, they cannot allow the fans to sit and boo almost every game.
No.
And that's they're booing at half time.
They're doing it at half time, mate. Yeah.
They're not even booing at full time. They're waiting outside the stadium now for them, asking them how they're not getting a clap.
There's
that much booze. By the way, there's that much booze happening. It's going to end up getting brought back into the games.
Yeah, I thought Halloween was a few weeks ago, man. They're still booing. The ghosts are booing.
All joking aside, though, but fucking. If they were going to sack him, they'd done it.
I would think so.
In my opinion,
I think they're missing an opportunity there. By the way. And not getting rid of him because there's a good few managers out there that you would probably do a turn there.
They're not going to be able to attract. Barry touched on it earlier on about terms of finance, etc. See at this stage of the season for them now, they're 9 points behind the champions of the country, right? The results it's not going too well. The players don't look like they want to be there. It looks like a lot of unrest happening in the camp left, right and centre. Some of them look as if they're down tools on him. Now, whether that be because they don't believe in him as a manager, or maybe something's happened in terms of the background, or maybe it's the fact that they've allowed Morelos and Kent to go into the last season of their contracts. Who knows? I don't know.
See that? I know, but JP, that's criminal, I know.
It is because you look at that as well. They were so-called they're too biggest assets a couple of seasons ago, right? In my opinion, they missed the boat in terms of Morelos. They should have struck a couple of seasons ago when they scored their goals in the Europa League.
Yeah,
they should have struck when the eye on the shot.
I'm being honest, IP. I don't know the board, right? I don't know, but do I genuinely believe there was a bid for Lille? No, because Rangers trying to let go £18 million. They can't.
I think there was genuine interest for Porto,
but there's interest and there's bids.
Not the money they were talking about, though, Jason. No. Not the figures that they were talking about. Maybe there was a bid.
Listen, they must have.
See if you think about it, I know, but right.
everybody's got pals in the media, and the media do favours for people, and I
of
believe
course.
it was all favoured to try and strum up a bit of interest in them, and it failed. Listen, we had our worst season in my fucking club's history in about 12 years. 3 years big hitters left. I will beyond that, Barry.
We still made £30 million.
The next season. Many of their players were bought?
None.
Zero. Inside
See, if you think about it, I know, but JP, right? See, if you look at Kent, I think they overpaid the odds for him.
Jason, it was all instalments on him. He didn't pay £7 million up front.
They've done it on money repayment plans.
£7 million,
I'll give you the money when I get my memory back. It's one of the longevity things. We hear about Ryan Kent's fee.
It's the same as that Davies that they signed to Liverpool, £4 million, and he's fucking injured.
Ben Davies.
Ben Davies. I thought they were signing Steve Davis, a snooker player, for £4 million because they need snookers.
We're fucking these snookers now.
They've signed around fucking Davis.
But overall, lads, anything else before we end tonight's show, lads?
Aye, my wee mate bought a greyhound yesterday. I says, what you got to do with that? He said, I'm going to race it. I said, I think by the looks of it, you'll beat it.
Oh dear.
I'm more laughing because I thought we were going to say something else, but we'll leave it.
Other one.
I set it up, didn't I? Don't tell the other one.
It's past the watershed, mate, if you want.
Right.
It's past the water.
2 runs in a bar.
When the fuck's pulled poke anyway? Obviously, lads, I'll let you go. It's a bit late as well. Friday night. Obviously, lads, enjoy your weekend. Obviously, the game is Sunday. A good chat to get you on again. See your happy, smiley faces. It's -9, so I will go make a cup of tea before I get my Celtic jammies on before I go to my bed tonight. But again, Barry, thanks for your time, mate. It's really good to chat to you again. Always talk well, mate. I like talking to you. You as well, Jason, with your new merch and your hat. It's called It's -9. And JP, I don't know.
You went for Jason to methadone Mick in 2 seconds.
And JP, I don't need to.
You're the only one that get complimented tonight, big man. You just take that.
Listen, what I was going to say, it's tough at the top, boys.
Aye, it's tough at the top. Right, lads, all the best.
Right, lads.
Cheers, lads. Have a good
Take care.
one, okay?
Cheers.
Hail.
He's like,